Hello everybody, this is Scott. Thought I'd take a moment or two between all things going on in my life and run you a little video about some things I'm thinking about. And I want to talk about flashlights. Flashlights are always cool, and I've had flashlights since I was a kid. They have morphed over the years. I mean, when I was a kid, everything was D cells and C cells. Now everything is AA, AAA. And even the coin batteries, the CR2032s, it's got so much smaller and things have gotten so much better. It just amazed me. So I kind of wanted to talk about where I was with flashlights and where I am with flashlights, and flashlights and pocket knives I think they're both kind of addicting. You can't have enough of them, so it seems. So I wanted to take a little time and give you my thoughts and show you some of the ones that I either have used or I still use or kind of use, what I carry with me on a day-to-day basis and so forth. As far as our, like I said in other videos, we're still in the process of moving. Our days here are numbered, and we're looking forward to the move out in the country. We were out there over the weekend, and it looks like the property is cleared where we want it cleared. We'll have about an acre, give or take, of land available that's cleared, and it's pretty much ready now to put our home on it. So we're excited about that. We have got gravel on the driveway, and now we're just waiting for the home to be built and brought out to our property. So peace and happiness is not too far away. One of the things that I'm thinking about maybe in the near future is maybe doing some podcasts and maybe do those instead of YouTubes. I'm kind of up in the air about that. It just depends. I'm watching the situation with how the big media companies, the big social media companies, are handling censorship. So far, I haven't done anything wrong on YouTube. I don't plan on doing anything wrong, but what's okay that I do today may not be okay tomorrow. So I am, working on a contingency plan, and so hopefully, those of you that are with me can follow me. But I'm experimenting with the medium of a podcast because they're a little more transportable, and they're under less. I can publish podcasts without any censorship, and so. But we'll see. Like I said, right now YouTube is treating me good, and hopefully it's treating you good. But we just have to watch as our First Amendment rights. I'm not going to say are being stomped on, but they're definitely being pushed around a little bit, so we have to be careful of that. Other than that, like I said, we've been busy. We still run a business. We still have to work, and we still have to do all this. So it is eating more of our time than we would like, but the end result is good. And also too, for you guys out there, for those that are just coming onto the channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you out there. If you like the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll say notification bell. Excuse me, notification bell is optional. I'm just happy to have you here for even just watching one or two videos. My purpose of these videos are really just to give people some information, to put some stuff out there. I don't do the crazy stuff. I'm not predicting the end of the world, but I'm trying to help people, get in a higher state of preparedness. Our federal government is even telling us that we should be in a higher state of preparedness. So, hang with me, and like I said, if you like me, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm not the jump up and down screaming guy, but I think some of the stuff I put out there is pretty good. Also, over this past week, I'm just getting over a relatively bad cold, and so my voice is not as hoarse as it was in the last video I put out, but I'm still prone to coughing fits. So if I go into a coughing fit, please excuse me, can't be helped. All right, let's talk about flashlights. Like I said, when I was a young man, most flashlights were uh, the big D cells and the big C cell flashlights, and they weren't that bright. When I was in the Army, we had the old angle head flashlight that took two D cell batteries, and it wasn't really that bright. The nice part about it was a 90-degree, it had a 90-degree crook in it, and it had a clip on the back so you can put it on your web gear and still have a light shining forward. It was a great light. They were about indestructible. You had different filters that you can put over the light real easy, like a red or a blue. But it just really wasn't that bright, and it was big and bulky. And so about the time I was getting out of the Army, a company called Maglite was starting. You all know Maglites, and boy, they were the bomb diggity. I've got one here. I don't have as many as I used to have, but this took two AA cells, and this was about as bright as my Army one that ran on two D cells. It's amazing, and I'll show it to you. It's not that bright, but it does the job, and I still use it around the house. But now there's, but just now there's better out there. But for years and years, this was my go-to flashlight. It was small, it was bright at the time. It's still a great light. It's pretty bomb-proof. I probably had this one for a while, and I've had several of them. And in fact, I think I still have a few running around the house somewhere. But I like them. They make them in AA, AAA. They had these in C cells and D cells. The ones I didn't like, or the ones I liked but didn't like, were the AAA cell batteries. It seems that for some reason, whenever I had a AAA cell Maglite, the batteries would corrode inside the tube, and I couldn't get it out. In fact, I just threw one away, and I've been using it, but for some reason the AAAs, maybe they made the tube too tight, I don't know, but they just didn't work. But I like the size, and even back then I liked the brightness. Of course, now they're been eclipsed by other flashlights now, especially with the LED technology. But this was my go-to light for many, many, many years. I've had probably a dozen of these things, if not more. Anywhere from the AAA cells all the way up to the 5D cell battery, which was my kind of my nightstick with a light on the end. Great flashlight, but now they're being eclipsed. So putting that down, another light that I carried for many years, and I still have a couple around the house, is this little micro light. It runs on a little coin battery, and all it is just an LED stuck on the end there, and that's it. I used to keep them on my keychain. This one's a micro light photon, and I think these are some of the better ones made, and they're a good light. I used to keep them on my keychain, and they put out some light, but as I get a little older, I need a little more light. One of the things you younger guys will realize one day when you get older, if you make it as far as me, is that your eyesight doesn't adapt to light and dark as fast. It does as good, it just takes a little longer. That's part of the aging process. And so the good part is if somebody flashes you with a bright light, it doesn't slam shut like it used to. But the other part is when you go into from a light to dark, sometimes it takes a couple extra minutes. And so a lot of times when in the past when I needed this little light, I like to have a little something more. So what do I carry now? The light I carry most is one I got for Christmas from my daughter-in-law, and it's just a little stream light. I've talked about this before. It's a hey, you two. It's my dog, excuse me. It's a Streamlight Stylus Pro. It uses two AAA batteries. It's aluminum. It's strong. It's got a tail cap switch. But look at the difference. Now that's bright. It is much brighter Then this light. Let's see if I can do both of them. Can you see that? And this is a triple A, and this is a double A. But my daughter-in-law gave me this, and I instantly fell in love with it because number one, it's bright, and number two, it's got a small diameter, and so I clip it to the inside of my pocket, and I can still get to my keys and whatever else I have in my pocket, part of my ADC, but it's not bulky. I don't like to have a lot of bulky stuff, and so I really like this, and I use this as part of my my job as a real estate appraiser. I'll go into attics and I'll use the light to inspect things a little bit, or dark basements. It's really been a great light. I like it a lot. Puts out quite a bit of light, and it's what I carry on my person. Another light that I have is another stream light. In case you couldn't tell, I like stream lights. And this one is the ProTac 2LX. It takes two CR123 batteries. This puppy is bright. It's got the different modes in it. It does the flash mode. It does the steady mode. It's got the different levels. This light is also bright, very bright, and this stays in my get home bag. It's a good size light. It's almost the size of my mag light, except it's about 4 times brighter, maybe even 5 or more, but it's a lot brighter. But I don't like to carry it in my pocket because I carry other things in my pocket, and so I don't like it there in my pocket. So I guess I could get a belt pouch or something, but you know, I don't like to walk around like I have a Batman utility belt on either. So, but it stays in my get home bag, which is with me pretty much 90% of the time. It's either sitting right by my desk, or I have it in my truck with me, or if I'm in my wife's car, I have it in the back seat, and with all my other goodies in there. And so it's close by that if I need to switch out, I can go to this. But it is a good light. And really, here recently, I'm going to talk about another light I have. This light has moved to what I call my bump in the night belt. And that is, I have a belt that has a pistol holster on it. It has a magazine holster on it, and a couple other things. And that's what I have ready for when things go bump in the night. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and somebody's banging on my door, and nobody, believe me, nobody has any business being on my property at 2 o'clock in the morning, I put that belt down, I slip a pistol in the holster, then I go see what's going on. And this is the light that I have there. This light used to be in my get home bag, but I've recently replaced it, and I'm fixing to talk about my other flashlight. And the other flashlight I got is something I learned from another YouTube channel. This is a through night TC15. This has a rechargeable battery. It's the equivalent of 2 CR123s, but it has, I don't know if you can see it, it has a micro USB port that I can recharge it using whatever I charge my cell phones with. And like I said earlier, I have a little tech bag in my get home bag that has about 3 different ways of charging a cell phone. Well, now I can also recharge my flashlight. So if I have one of those big cell packs for my cell phone, I can also recharge my battery. This one is also bright, except instead of having a tail cap, it's got a switch here, and that's the, as you can see, that's also very bright. And so I carry this. Now, this is what's in my get home bag now, mainly because I have a way of recharging it without having to carry more extra batteries. And so I like it. I'm going to play with it a little while. If I like it a lot, they may also make a headlamp I like that's also rechargeable. I may get one of those. But again, both of these lights, they're aluminum bodied. They make a nice, you know, they make a nice fist filler For those that are familiar with a Kubotan, these make a good Kubotan for self-defense. Like I said, both very sturdy, both will do the job. So that's my take on flashlights. Like I said, flashlights are kind of cool. You just can't have enough of them. And sometimes when I'm going through an old box or something, I'll find another flashlight. And I'll pull another one. Buttons, hey, hey. And I got a 100-pound German Shepherd named Buttons. It's my daughter's dog. I'm dog sitting. But flashlights, they always do you good. When you need one, you need one. And if you don't carry one on you, you should. I mean, even if you carry one of these little ones, it's still better than nothing, especially if you're in your front door, all the lights are out, and you drop your keys. Or you do something else, or you drop something else, and you have to go looking for it. Even this is better. My preference now is this light. Like I said, it's just a little bit thicker than a regular pen. And when I slip it in my pocket, I put it to the back of the pocket, and I hardly know it's there. I can slip my hand in, pull the other things out without flipping this out, and I like it a lot. I was really surprised how much I like this. But that's my take on flashlights. If you don't have one, get one. Get more. They're kind of fun to collect. I'm sorry, they're like pocket knives. And I just keep ending up with. I give my son a bunch of stuff, and then a year or two later, I'm like back up to the same. But anyhow, light is important, and what's more important is light discipline. And what light discipline is knowing when it's a good idea to use the light and when it's not. If you're out in the woods in the middle of the night and you think there's somebody out to get you, and you start shining that bright flashlight around, they're going to know exactly where you are, because on a dark night you can see these lights for miles. And so practice your light discipline. That's very important. There's an old I think it goes back to World War I, where they used to say that 3 on the match was bad luck. And where that kind of derived from is if you had 3 GIs, standing together and talking, and they're all smoking cigarettes. Back then, cigarette smoking was a big deal. A guy would light a match, and he would light his cigarette. Well, that would draw a sniper's attention. He'd then go over and light his buddy's cigarette. Well, that would give the sniper time to sight in. And then when he moved it over to the third person to light his cigarette, bang. So that's a little bit of trivia. That's where 3 on a match is bad luck. So remember, lights are cool, lights are great, but lights can cause you harm. So exercise light discipline when you have to, but use them full bore when you need to. That's all I got, everybody. Stay safe, stay secure. We'll see you.